non-un. Frustration, unforeseeable amalgamated investment v. John Walker. The event must have not been anticipated by either party during construction of the contract. Row 2. Frustration, at no fault of either party. The Eugenia. Both parties must have had no control over the event and neither party had acted to cause the event. Row 3. Frustration. Criteria for frustration. Davis Contractors v. Fairham UDC. Impossible, illegal or radically different. Row 4. Frustration. Old approach. Paradigm v. Jane. Absolute obligations rule. A term should have been included in the contract. Zero tolerance. Row 5. Frustration. Implied term theory. Taylor v. Caldwell. There is implied condition in the contract that the subject matter of the contract should be in existence, otherwise the contract should be discharged. Row 6. Frustration. Implied term theory. Davis Contractors v. Fairham UDC. Implied term is unrealistic or bidder from the judgment. Row 7. Frustration. Impossibility. Appleby v. Myers. The destruction of the thing necessary for performance of the contract. Row 8. Frustration. Impossibility. Tamplin v. Anglo-Mexican. The unavailability of a thing is a matter of degree. Time available v. time unavailable will decide if frustrated. Row 9. Frustration. Impossibility. Bankline v. Arthur Capel. The unavailability of a thing is a matter of degree. Time available v. time unavailable will decide if frustrated. A significant period of unavailability is required to render contract frustrated. Row 10. Frustration. Impossibility. The Sea Angel. Criticism of the time approach, saying that isn't the only thing necessary to determining if frustration was present. Must look at the purpose of the contract. If this has been fulfilled, then frustration won't be found. Row 11. Frustration. Impossibility. Morgan v. Manser. A contract for a personal service can be frustrated if the person has been incapacitated. Row 12. Frustration. Impossibility. Stubbs v. Holywell Railway Company. A contract for a personal service can be frustrated if the person who is necessary to the contract dies before completing their obligations. Row 13. Frustration. Supervening illegality. Euros. Denny, Mott, Dixon v. Fraser. A contract to do what had been illegal to do cannot be legally enforceable. Row 14. Frustration. Non-occurrence of event. Krell v. Henry. A contract can be frustrated if the sole purpose of the contract was to do with an event and this event does not occur. Row 15. Frustration. Non-occurrence of event. Chandler v. Webster. A contract can be frustrated if the sole purpose of the contract was to do with an event and this event does not occur. Row 16. Frustration. Non-occurrence of event. Hearn Bay Steamboat v. Hutton. For a contract to be frustrated by non-occurrence of an event, it must be the only purpose of the contract to do with the event. Row 17. Frustration. Government intervention. Metropolitan Water Board v. Dick Kerr. Government intervention can cause frustration of contracts if the core resources used are apprehended by the government. Think War and Manpower. Row 18. Frustration of leases. Paradigm v. Jane. Leases can never be frustrated. Note no case law on a frustrated lease yet. Row 19. Frustration of leases. Cricklewood Property v. Leighton's Investment. Leases can hardly ever be frustrated. This is discussion and no case law on frustrated leases. Remember, unavailability of a thing so may be possible in future or may be by natural disaster. Row 20. Frustration of leases. National Carriers v. Panalpina. Courts are prepared to consider the possibility that a lease may be frustrated in rare circumstances where the lease is very short and for a specific purchase. Left parent holiday right parent ratio of unavailability and length of lease. Row 21. Frustration. Commercial impracticability. The Eugenia. A contract cannot be frustrated where the event that occurs merely makes the contract more onerous. Cost or length of time. Row 22. Frustration. Self-induced. Maritime National Fish v. Trawlers. No frustration is present if a party was in control of the event. Row 23. Frustration. Foreseeability. Walton RVLTD Walker and Humphreys. The less than an event is foreseeable, the more likely it is to lead on to frustration. Remember, new law coming into power that is not emergency legislation is foreseeable. Row 24. Frustration. Consequences. The NEMA. All future obligations discharged by operation of law from the date of the frustrating event. The doctrine is not lightly invoked per Lord Roskill. Row 25. Frustration. Law Reform Left Parent. 1943. Law Reform Left Parent.